Okay guys, so in this tutorial we're going to be doing 2 pluck sounds for trance music. We're going to be doing a slightly longer one, which is this one. We're going to be doing that one, and we're going to be doing the shorter one, which is like this. If I just play this riff through, you might recognise it. Okay, so to get started we will start on the longer pluck, which is this one. So if I go to menu and go initialize preset, what I'm going to do is go on to analog basic CJW, and I'm going to crank the wave position all the way up, and I'm going to have 16 voices, so I'll push that all the way up. And then I'm going to put the blend about 2 o'clock, about 3 o'clock, just to blend that in. And then I'm going to go onto the menu and copy from oscillator A to oscillator B. So we've got the same wave, and I'm also having the blend on, and I'm going to also detune the second oscillator a bit. So it's, and then I'm going to assign the filter and assign oscillators A and B, both pushing through the filter. And then I'm going to assign LF2 to the cutoff. So I drag that across to the cutoff, and I'll just reduce that a bit. And then with the envelope 2, we're going to have a decay of about 11 o'clock, so quite a short one, sustain of 10 o'clock, and then a release of about 11 o'clock. Now on envelope 1, which is our main sound we're hearing, we'll have the decay to 11 o'clock, creating that pluck sound again, sustain at 10 o'clock, release at about 12 o'clock, no, about 11 o'clock. So that is the envelope that directly affects our sound. Then what I'm going to do is assign the LFO1 to the phase of oscillator A, and I'm going to spread that over 1 bar. And then LFO2, I'm going to drag that to the phase of oscillator B, and we'll have that over 1 bar. I'm going to drag the levels of those down a bit on those 2 LFOs. So we're starting to get our trancey lead sound now. So we go on to our effects now, and we're going to add some chorus. And the only thing I want to do with the chorus is just adjust the mix down to about 9 o'clock. And then the all important delay. And with the delay, I want the left on a quarter and right on 1/8. Feedback I'm going to have on about 10 o'clock. Then I'm going to adjust the EQ to drop out some of those bass frequencies, the low frequencies. So we've got our mix at about 10 o'clock there. So that's fine. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to add is the EQ. I want to again drop out some of those bass frequencies, let the high frequencies shine. Okay, so the next thing I want is the reverb, and I'll add the reverb, but I want the reverb coming after the EQ, so it's not affected by the EQ. So what I'm going to do is leave it on Hall, have the size at 11 o'clock, have the decay at 12 o'clock, have the low cut at about 9 o'clock, spin, leave those 2 as they are. You can always hear how the sound is affected by just boosting the mix all the way up to hear what sort of reverb you're putting on your sound. So I'm just going to drag that down. It's about 9 o'clock there. And there's our longer lead trance sound. Okay, so the next sound we're going to make is the shorter pluck sound, which is this one. So that's the Paul van Dyk famous pluck sound that you're hearing there. And we're going to go into menu, initialize preset, and start again. On this one, we're going to set our oscillator A to basic MCB, take the sustain right down to 0. Then I'm going to work on envelope 1 and set the sustain all the way down to 0. Again, creating our pluck sound with envelope 1 and a tiny bit of release there. And decay, we want about 11 o'clock. So I'll just slightly increase that release up a bit to let it ring out a bit more. Then I'm going to take the unison up to 7. Detune going backwards to about 11 o'clock. So then I'm going to add some pulse width modulation to oscillator A here, PMW, and that will take out some of those bass frequencies. And then on this sound I'm going to add some noise. And now I'm going to activate the filter and leave it on MG low 12, low pass filter, and then route the noise and the oscillator A through that. I'll just open up that filter a bit. So now I'm going to go into the effects section and add the delay. So with this delay I'm going to have 1/8 on the left side and 1/4 on the right side. And I'm going to switch to ping pong, add a slight bit of distortion on this one to give it a bit more punch. And then I'm going to add our reverb, and I'm just going to bring in the mix at about 9 o'clock, maybe take it down a little bit more. EQ out the low end further still, and I'll put this behind the reverb again. And now let's see what that sounds like with the track. So what we could do when we want to record this in is play with the cutoff knob and then just add some movement to our sound. Then record that onto an audio track, or alternatively we could add, say, LFO 3, drag that on to the cutoff, select the range of sound we want to affect. It's too fast, so I'd take that off the BPM and I would bring that right the way down so it moves slower, so the effect is heard slower. And there we go guys, just 2 lead sounds there to get you started making trance music.